Perfect. Perfect timing, man.
I just want to start. When this fight got booked, it got a lot of backlash. That was the main event. Like, what do you have to say about that? Because to me, this is a good fight. Like, it's a number one contender fighting. Like, most number one contenders get main event fights.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there were like three guys that backlash on it, and then everybody else was pretty supportive. It's just like anything, everybody's gonna have a problem with something that isn't their idea. So, I mean, I could care less. Like, I mean, obviously the UFC wants me to do it, and that is, that's all. The way that they feel and their opinions are what matter more than anything. So.
And this isn't obviously a very important fight. Like Cynthia Calvillo's, who she had success at drawing, she's moving up. Like, is this someone you had your eye on when she announced she was coming up, or is this kind of opponent that came out of nowhere?
No, this kind of came out of nowhere. So it's like it's awesome, but I like again, it was one of those things that just kind of happened. So this isn't like a situation where me and her have a beef or anything like that. So I'm excited. I think this is going to be a fun fight, and I think that she's a tough girl, and I'm a tough person, and like it's and fighter, and I think this is going to be fun.
With Calvillo, like she obviously is just moving up in weight. Like, do you think you're gonna have the size advantage over her?
Well, yeah. I mean, let's just look at basic, like just genetics and statistics that we know. She's 5'4", I'm 5'6". She has 64-inch reach. I have a 66. So there's obviously going to be a notable size difference. But I think that with a lot of us women is we train with men, all the time. We're always used to a size difference, and we're always used to kind of that stuff. So I don't foresee it being a huge issue for her, the size difference. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it will be. Maybe it'll just be so much that I'll be so overpowering for her, which is ideally what we want.
And with this fight, like obviously with everything going on, it is hard to train. I know you sometimes train in Ohio. You do a lot of work in Vegas too. Like, where did the majority of this training camp take place?
Well, I guess let me clear up a lot of it. I no longer live in Cleveland. I have left Cleveland since last March, and set up full residency here in Las Vegas. I have my own home gym inside my garage with like probably about 500 square foot of matted like area, and as well as a new sauna that is being installed actually tomorrow. So I have my own training facility and have been training the entire time that the quarantine and this has been going on. And that's not just because of like being a number one contender needing to stay ready, but MMA and training is one of the vices that I have in life. It's one of the things that I use to keep me on track and keep me mentally in good headspace. So it's a part of my life. It's something that I do on the regular, and I would do even if I wasn't fighting at a high level. I would still be training hard and doing something to occupy my mind and my body.
And your last fight was obviously the win over Vivian. It was a big win. You were the underdog in that fight too. Like, how important do you think that win was, especially coming off the loss to Valentina?
Well, yeah, of course. Anytime you come off of a championship loss, the next fight is, of course it's going to be big. Of course it's one of those, moments where, things, you have to showcase that you're better and that, the loss didn't affect you. So, yeah, I knew what the importance was going into that fight. I didn't really realize how much they were trying to skyrocket her past me at the time, but, I have no problem with that. I will gladly rise to whatever occasion I'm being asked to do, and if I'm healthy and happy, there's no issues for me when it comes to the fight game.
You're another underdog here, just a slight, like you're like plus 100. But are you surprised you're the underdog again? Like people, it seems like people consistently overlook
Am
you.
I had no idea I was the underdog, to be honest, but it's kind of crazy that I am. I guess they want to give all the bettors something good, I guess, because that to me is mind blowing. I guess I'll just have to go out and do what's best and show everybody why I am the number one contender. And anybody who steps in front of me, can get it.
Yeah, what's kind of crazy is I was looking at your betting history. You haven't been a favorite since you fought Kalindra Farah, and since that, like, you were the underdog against Jessica Rose Clark, Kagan, Shevchenko, Araujo, like, and now against Calvillo. Like, why do you think people consistently overlook you, and you always prove them wrong?
I think I've showed some inconsistencies in my training, or not my training, but like some inconsistencies in my actual fight performance. But I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I fought outside my weight class for such a long time, and that didn't work to my advantage. And hey, I guess all of my friends that like to bet, they always win in the long run. So I'll keep staying the underdog while my friends bet on me and make some extra money.
With Calvillo, like, how much do you think the size factor will play a factor in this fight?
Well, I mean, I'm what I'm hoping for is it plays a big advantage, and I can just, show my strength and show the things that I do. I love to lift. I love physical strength. So if I'm given the chance to showcase that against her, I'm going to.
This fight obviously could go a lot of ways. Calvillo is someone that uses her wrestling a lot. Like, how do you see this fight playing out?
If she uses her wrestling, I mean, I'm definitely, that's one of the things that I've been working on for many years and learning to just get better day by day, and I have. I think we've seen that in all of my fights at 125. My wrestling takedowns as well as my defense, but as well as my scrambles. So, I mean, no matter where the fight goes, I'm prepared and I'm ready to showcase myself, and I'm ready to prove to myself, how much I'm worth it and how good I really am. I know what I'm worth.
With this fight is obviously 5 rounds. You've trained for a 5-round fight against Valentina. She's never had a 5-round fight. Like, do you think that's in your advantage?
Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to step up to that, main event. You know what I mean? It's hard to live up to all that. I mean, she's very fortunate that she's getting to do it without a crowd. I've had to do that stuff in front of crowds. So I'm very excited to fight even without it. I feel like they're going to get to see a real ruthless Jessica as well. That's why some of these fights, you see some of these guys just really putting their best foot forward.
I just want to touch on that too. Like, how do you think the no fans in the smaller octagon at the Apex will impact this fight?
I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait to do it. I'm sure for the newbies who, for the newcomers to the UFC, they're first time fighters. Like, this is, probably a big advantage to them and really, really good for them since, they're new. But for someone like me, I mean, I don't care whether or not the crowd's there or not. This has become a lifestyle for me, so it's easy to do it. It's easy to do it with or without people. That's why I was excited when I went to Singapore the one time. Like, it was nice to just get away and feel like I was just going there to fight, and there wasn't any distractions.
Where do you think a win over Calvillo puts you in this division? Because obviously you are the number one contender. Like, do you think a win here gets you another shot at Shevchenko, or do you still think you're going to need one more?
I mean, I'll do whatever needs to be done. I mean, it's like it's a win-win situation for me either way. If I wait, if I get another fight outside of it, it's just more experience and more money in my pocket for me to be ready for that next chance. Or she gets beat by JoJo. I mean, we really don't know. Like, I mean, I'm kind of just sitting back, working on myself and just paying attention to my own life. If I get back to the title, in another year, it's another year. If I have to, it's in a couple months, it'll be in a couple months. There's not really much I can do. Even as much as I want to bitch and complain when I don't like things, I don't have much say-so. And, let's face it, JoJo's earned her opportunity against Valentina, so be it. She deserves to get her chance.
How often do you look back on that Shevchenko fight and just see what you could have done differently?
I mean, all the time, like every day, and not make it every day, but like every time I find myself in a weak moment, that's just a reminder why I want to be better, so that I can again get that life that I want. You know what I mean? I want to get the accolades that I want, be able to do, all the things that I want.
In your last fight, you did miss weight, but is the weight a concern heading into this one, just because it is kind of short notice?
No, I've been training the whole time. I mean, obviously, I know everybody's always gonna capitalize on that one time I missed weight, and just always bring it up or say something about it. And I know that. I mean, it is what it is. There's not really much I can do about it other than just proving people wrong and, again, showing my consistency making weight so that they can't use that against me anymore. They can't use those things like, oh, you did this. It won't be there. It'll be so buried they won't be able to say anything about it, because they don't do that to or they don't do that to Khabib. You know what I mean? Like, people forget about, his missed weights or other people. Like, it just needs to see me consistently make weight a couple more times, and then it won't be an issue.
Do you think there's a pressure on you and Cynthia of making this fight entertaining just because there's so much backlash, or you're not really paying any attention to any of that?
You keep saying backlash, but what backlash is there really? Do you think the UFC, I mean, outside of 5 fans that happen to be pretty persistent because they have nothing else to do on the internet, and complain, like, that, to me, that's not that much backlash. And, the UFC wouldn't put something together if they felt like it wasn't worth it in their eyes. And that's all that matters.
What is it like to be having this much trust in the UFC to be headlining your first show?
I mean, it's sweet, right? Like, it's in the middle of, we're still coming out of a pandemic. Our world is still, going through some things. If I can go out there and show some positivity and do something great and give some people something to look forward to, then, that's thrilling to me, and I plan to do that.
Just a couple more things. Not sure if you saw, but after Katlyn Chookagian won over the weekend, she said she'd like to rematch you. Do you think that's a fight that will happen again down the line?
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure. I didn't see that she said she wanted to rematch me. I see that she said that she was, either wanting to have a baby or just keep fighting. And I mean, either way, I'm game for whatever is necessary to get myself in a better financial situation, make myself more money, and get myself closer to fighting for the title again.
And just last thing is, obviously, Shevchenko is supposed to fight Calderwood. Like, how do you see that one playing out?
I mean, we never know, right? We've seen things go ways that we never expected to. I don't predict fights. I just watch them.
All right, well, Jessica, that's all I have. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Of course, no problem.
Yeah, have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.